Hi guys, welcome. We are live. It is Monday, the 13th of April. I actually remember the date today. I welcome those members who are part of our Time to Grow. If you are not part of that group, go to ellabates.com/time to grow. Today's topic, we are talking about getting fascinated. Our daily bite videos are going to be about what to learn, how to embrace personal development and growth during this time that we have. So today's topic is getting fascinated. So if you really want to learn something and really learn it well, you absolutely have to be fascinated. A way to think about this: go back to your schooling days, go back to the topics, go back to the grades that you got the best in where you didn't have to study day and night for. You were fascinated about those topics. You really liked it. It interested you. So I invite you to do the same when it comes to your personal development and your professional development as well. You really have to capitalize on what it is that fascinates you. We've got quite a few people joining us here. If you are I've got some comments coming through already. If you are here, say hi. Let me know that you're here. Post your questions in comments, and I'll be able to get back to you on that. So let's take a look at a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. But I want you to think about this for a second before I pose this. When was the last time that you said, "That's absolutely fascinating"? And yes, it might not be a word that you use on a day-to-day basis. It might not even be part of your vocabulary. It is mine. Maybe the word is enthralled. I saw a really great definition of fascination today. It said, to attract, to hold attentively by a unique power, personal charm, unusual something, I can't read my own writing, or some special quality, or to be enthralled. Isn't enthralled a great word, eh? All right. Let's see, we've got good morning, Cindy. How are you? Thank you for joining us here. So the first questions you need to ask yourself are, when being fascinated, is what topic is going to fascinate me? Go back to being a child. Go back to when you were in school. Go back to the last time that you said that was really fascinating. What topic are you going to look at? The next question that you need to ask yourself is, how can I be more fascinated about this? Where can I look? Where can I find more information? Who do I need to talk to? Do I need to go online to my local library? Do I need to Google it? Is there YouTube videos? Are there people who are experts in this arena? But more importantly, these questions are more important. What do you hope to get out of learning this particular topic? I'm going to give you an example of that. So one of the things that I'm doing during this COVID-19 is I'm learning to play my ukulele better. I was self-taught through a book, totally rubbish. So in the past, I was rubbish, not in the future. In the past. For those that watch my other lives, you'll know that in the past is a big word for me from my friend Michelle Scrimger Brown. Anyway, so I'm learning the ukulele and I'm asking myself, why am I learning it? Well, I'm learning it because I want to this summer be around the campfire and play songs that we can sing along to. Why do I want to play songs I can sing along to? Because I love to sing. Why do I love to sing? Because it brings me joy and other people joy. Why do I like to see other people joyful? Because it creates that sense of community. So that's why I'm doing it. But you need to know, what are you going to get out of doing it? Because if you don't know why, you're not going to put in the effort. Okay, so you need to ask yourself the real questions. Then you need to get fully absorbed in whatever topic it is. I want you to start commenting with the kind of topics that fascinate you. I want to hear about those, and I want to give you some tips around them. But you want to get fully absorbed, because what happens when you get fully absorbed is you give your time, your focus, your interest, your mind, you become a better listener. All these wonderful things happen. And to do that, you need to do a couple of things. You need to get rid of distractions. So whether that distraction is your phone, or tell people, hey, I'm just going to be doing this right now. Just give me 15 minutes and I'll be right back with you. You know, if you've got the kids, maybe you're a single mom like me, and, you know, get the drinks and the snacks and things like that. Say, hey guys, 15 minutes, I'm doing my ukulele. I'm actually including the kids in my music lessons, but that's a whole other story. But you need to get fully absorbed. And you can only do that if you are fascinated in the topic. You know, I'm sure you remember when maybe in the workplace or maybe in school or higher education, when someone said, okay, so let's get fully immersed in this topic. And you're, oh gosh, that's not interesting to me at all. It's really hard to get absorbed. So you need to pick a topic that fascinates you. And the next one is, you want to be fully present. What does it mean to be fully present? What do you need to do to be fully present in the moment? Well, you need to make sure that you're in a space of no distractions, we've already talked about. But the key thing is listening. The art of listening is a critical skill, one that's needed for many social capital reasons. But more than anything is we listen to respond rather than listen to understand. I'm sure you've heard this phrase before. We listen to respond rather than listening to understand. So, for example, when I'm watching my ukulele tutor, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to play that in a second. No, I need to put my ukulele down, watch, stop, press pause, go and practice and go back. Be fully present and ask yourself, am I present in this moment, in this topic? Am I fascinated by that? Remember your childhood. Oh, how long ago was that? It's just a few years for me, obviously. And you can tell, right, by the wisdom streaks that I have going on right now. It's COVID-19. People, I can't get to the hairdressers. Anyway, think about it. What were you fascinated about as a child? And I was thinking about that last night when I was writing my notes for today's session. And I was thinking, birds used to fascinate me as a kid. Birds, of all the things, right? I remember getting this book from the Girl Guides. Anyone in the Girl Guides? Yeah? Other scouts? I got this book from the Girl Guides, and we had to go on a hike, and we were looking for these specific birds in this specific area. I remember being fascinated because I just saw a bird, it had wings, it was brown, or it was red, or it was black. And, you know, it was kind of cool. But then when I looked more into it and looked about why the beaks were that shape, why these particular birds flew like these and these ones didn't, how these ones built their nest, how these ones congregated. I remember learning about Canadian geese, for an example. Canadian geese are fascinating from a leadership perspective, fascinating, self-leadership and leading in organizations, fascinating. So maybe I'll start taking a look at birds, right? But do you remember when you were a kid and you had this wonderment? I remember taking my kids to Toronto Zoo. I think it was the first, or it might have been Peterborough Zoo. Anyway, we went to, it was Toronto Zoo because there was giraffes there. And the kids were, when they saw giraffes, they were like, what is that? What? Oh my God, why does it have that's right, Jack. I've got my headphones on because my kid's here, but he's saying, yeah, it's true. Giraffes are the most fascinating. Why on earth do they have these long necks, right? What noise do they make? Did you know that giraffes whisper? That's the noise they make. They make this whisper. It's very, very quiet. The noise they make, right? Fascinating. So maybe I'll take my kids and we'll have a look at giraffes. There's lots of zoos right now who are doing lives, and there's actually webcams where you can go and see certain animals and stuff. But go back to your childhood. What fascinated you then will likely fascinate you now, right? Think about when was the last time you said to somebody, that's fascinating. Go back to what that topic was. That's what you should be learning in this time. And a great friend of mine, George, who's big on marketing, always says, in order to be interesting, you have to be interested. I'll say that again. In order to be interesting, you need to be interested. Where that comes from is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is my copy. It's well thumbed. It's, orange. This particular one was printed in 1964. Like you see, it's been well thumbed by me. This is the most well-read book of mine when it comes to development. But in this particular book, he tells a story about how he was at the dinner table and he wanted to be interesting to this certain group of people. So then he became interested, right? You need to look in order to find out what you want to find out. You've got to be interested. Then you become interesting. And when you're interesting, people share more with you. It's a whole circle, right? Or to be interesting, you need to be interested. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great book. If you've never read it, you must. Great book. Next, who can you be fascinated by? So, one of my key phrases in all my training, if ever you've been to any of my training or my live videos, is model a successor, right? So don't go, okay, I need to, all right, I want to learn about animals. Great. Where do I start? Where's the best places to look? You can spend hours researching. It's like trying to go on vacation without a travel agent, right? You're going to spend hours and hours and hours unnecessarily. Go and find the expert in those areas, whether it's an expert in learning in those areas or an expert in doing in those areas. So if it's animals, maybe I know a vet. Maybe I know a zoologist. Maybe I know somebody that works in the zoo. Maybe I know someone that went to a zoo camp. Maybe, I know someone that's also fascinated in the subject. People love to talk about what they're knowledgeable about. People love to share. One of the big things that we don't do is reach out to people and say, hey, you know, I know you're super knowledgeable in this particular topic. Can you help guide me? People never say no, never, right? Go and find somebody. And sometimes they'll also offer to be your mentor, or you can ask them and say, hey, can you be my mentor in this particular learning? I'll give you an example of that. I'm learning graphic facilitation for those that don't know. I used to say that I couldn't draw a stickman in the past, but now I'm actually drawing some really cool graphic facilitation. If I had it here to show you, I would do. I don't have it here reachable on the table. So yeah, look at the topic and see who you can reach out to. Very, very important. Next one is know your why. In any learning, in my 22 years of a learning professional, you always look at the objectives. Everything that you do from a learning perspective must be tied to an objective, whether that objective is directly your organization's objective, your personal goals, your family's goals, your community's goals. It's a gap in what you don't know and what you want to know, because you want to be able to perform better, or more importantly, you want to enrich your life and enrich other people's lives, as an example. For those that follow Simon Sinek, you'll know that everything starts with why. Everything. Let's see. Oh, you're currently reading that book. That's awesome, Cindy. Yeah, that's great to know. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, Simon Sinek, everything starts with why. If you don't know why you're doing it, you're less likely to stay motivated. You are less likely to be inspired by the information that you're learning, to actually ask the right questions in conversation. You need to know why you're doing it. Great methodology of that is the 5 whys. If you go back to the start of this video, where I asked myself why I was learning the ukulele, you'll notice I asked the question, why, which got me to the real reason of why I am learning the ukulele, right? It's very rarely for the first reason. And then last of all, more importantly, you have to care. Have you noticed? Let's take a relationship, for example. If you really care about that person, you'll put more effort. If you care about that topic, you'll put more effort. If you care about your why, you will put more effort. When you put more effort, you will gain more from it. You'll be able to take bigger action and you will see a higher impact. Make sense? Okay. If you find that you don't care about the topic, the likeliness is you are not going to learn it fully. Right? You're really, really not. So my job as a learning professional, for example, is on a webinar. My first job is to make people care about it and to find their why about their learning the topic before I even start throwing any information at them. Here's why you should care about it. Here's the consequences to not caring about it. Right? Look at anything that you've cared about or anyone that you care about. You've thought to yourself, what's my consequences of not caring for this plant, as an example, right? You want to make sure that it doesn't just survive, it wants to thrive. So in order to do that, you have to care about it, you have to feel very passionate, and you have to get very fascinated about it. Let's see some comments. Yeah, I love Simon. Simon Sinek, he's awesome. So any questions about getting fascinated? You know, when was the last time you were fascinated? What is fascinating you right now? Maybe it's the glare from my glasses. Maybe it's a hot topic. Tell me in the comments here. Some fascination topics for my kids. Become more fascinated about music recently. So I actually picked up a piano. A real piano, not like a grand piano. What I didn't realize was how heavy it was. But anyway, so I picked up a piano. So we now have djembe drums. We have electric guitar and an amp. We have 2 ukuleles and we have a piano. So every day we're going to be doing music lessons. Isn't that neat? So tell me, share with me, message me, tell me what you're fascinated about. I'd love to hear from you. Get fascinated. Take a look at what you're learning. If it doesn't fascinate you, stop learning it. But that's all for today. That is our Brain Bites. I hope you can join us again tomorrow. We're going to be live Monday to Friday at different times. We'll put reminders on the group. If you're not part of the group, we are at elevate.com/time to grow. And I welcome you all. And thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.